सेवया भगवतीरुत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 8, Verse 37. इति लङ्घितमर्यादम् तक्षकः सप्तमेहनी दंश्यति स्म कुलाङ्गारम् चोदितो मे ततद्रुहम् इति लङ्घितमर्यादम् तक्षकः सप्तमेहनी दंश्यति स्म कुलाङ्गारम् चोदितो मे ततद्रुहम् इति लङ्घितमर्यादम् तक्षकः सप्तमेहनी दंश्यति स्म कुलाङ्गारम् चोदितो मे ततद्रुहम्. Synonyms, translation purport by Stephen Grace Abhay Charnaru Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Jai Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Iti, thus, Langitha, surpassing, Maryadam, etiquette, Takshaka, snake bird, Saptami, on the seventh, Ahani, day, Tangshyati, will bite, Sma, certainly, Kula Angaram, the wretched of the dynasty, Choditha, having done, Me, my, Tata, Druham, enmity towards the father. Translation. The Brahmanas son cursed the king thus: on the seventh day from today, a snake bird will bite the most wretched one of that dynasty, Maharaja Parikshit, because of his having broken the laws of etiquette by insulting my father. Translation again. The Brahmana's son cursed the king thus: on the seventh day from today, a snake bird will bite the most wretched one of that dynasty, Maharaja Parikshit, because of his having broken the laws of etiquette by insulting my father. Purport. Thus, the beginning of the misuse of Brahmanical power began. And gradually, the Brahmanas in the age of Kali became devoid of both Brahmanical powers and culture. The Brahmana boy considered Maharaja Pariksit to be Kulangara, or the wretched of the dynasty. But factually, the Brahmana boy himself was so, because only from him did the Brahmana caste become powerless. Like the snake whose poisoned teeth are broken. The snake is fearful as long as his poisoned teeth are there, otherwise he is fearful only to children. The personality of Kali conquered the Brahmana boy first, and gradually the other castes. Thus, the whole scientific system of the orders of society in this age has assumed the form of a vitiated caste system, which is now being uprooted by another class of men similarly influenced by the age of Kali. One should see to that root cause of vitiation and not try to condemn the system as it is without knowledge of its scientific values. Hariom Tatsat. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namah. नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णवृषाय भूतले श्रीमते जयपताक स्वामिन्निति नामिने नमो आचार्यपदाय निताय कृपप्रदायिने गौरकतादामदाय नगरग्रामतारिणे नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिन्निति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादे पाश्चात्याधिसतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौरभक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 Hare Hare, Hare Haraya Nama, Krishna Yadavaya Nama, Hare Gopal Govindaram, Sri Madhusudanam, Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangulangai Tegiri, Matkripatamam, and the Sri Gurundaran Tharinam, Paramananda Madhav, Sri Chaitanya Mishram, Hari Om Tatsat, very beautiful. So, purport, Prabhupada has explained very wonderfully that though this Brahmana boy, who himself is Kulangara, he has cursed, abused Srila Parikshit Maharaj to be Kulangara. Kulangara means the most wretched of the dynasty or the tradition family, whatever. It's not Parikshit Maharaj who is the Kulangara. Actually, the Brahmanava himself is the Kulangara because with him begin the misuse of Brahmanical power, and gradually Brahmanas in the age of Kali, they became completely devoid of their power as well as their culture. Both they have lost. And later, the Kali has influenced the so-called caste system, and they made him fought amongst themselves also. In this way, they lost the culture also. So Brahmanical power and culture is lost once it is misused. So this is the Sringi who has actually represented as a Kulangara for not only Brahmanas but the whole Varnashrama system. System actually remains because Chaturvarna Maya Srishtam Gunakarma Vibhagasa, Krishna says that he has created. Nobody can destroy what Krishna has created. But the point is, when you misuse that, it appears to be lost. So the root cause of vitiation is actually this Brahmana boy's misuse. Kali has exploited this Brahmana boy fully for his entrance, and yes, after that he continually used to the other caste people also in to make them fight amongst themselves. Kali is age of quarrel, so he created the quarrel like this. First of all, yes. Let him misuse the power, influenced him, and then when he misused the power, he lost the power. Not only he, the whole Brahmanas, over a period of a time, have lost the complete potency, and other caste came up and they fought each other and they lost their culture also. So this is the result of havoc when one commit a Vaishnava Aparadh. The whole world is suffering today because of this Ringi Brahmana has committed such a great offense against wonderful devotee Srila Parikshit Maharaj. Okay. Of course, this was also the Leela of the Lord. You cannot say that, okay, yes, he has committed offense, there is no doubt about it. And Parikshit Maharaj did not consider that as an offense. Parikshit Maharaj considered himself is guilty. That is his, Vaishnava way of etiquette. It's natural for the Parikshit Maharaj. He's not influenced by the curses and the benedictions in the material world. He is always being blessed with the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Sri Krishna, and is always being used in the hands of Krishna as an instrument. So Krishna thought that let me use my Parikshit to give Srimad Bhagavatam to the future age of Kali, which is going to be spoiled starting from this Brahmana by Sringi. Krishna knows that because Krishna has given permission to the Asuras to take birth in the Brahmana's family for their own benefit. But unfortunately, every time Krishna gives them a chance, they always misuse the chance. They don't take advantage of the chance. That is why he came in the Kali Yuga, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He is completely merciful incarnation. In this, he has given that particular benedictions, a chance to all the Asuras and Asuric natured human. The Asuras have got birth in the human being and they polluted the human consciousness to be Asuric, atheist. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to give again a chance. But this time, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has given the chance in such a way that they can never misuse. There is no question of misuse. He is told, please chant Hare Krishna. And if anybody chants Hare Krishna sarcastically or blaspheming way also, that rascal will be benefited only. This is the beauty of the mercy of Krishna. Nobody can conquer Krishna. Just because Krishna is giving us power, even if we misuse, you cannot cheat Krishna. You cannot conquer Krishna. Krishna has another devised way. Now he has devised a wonderful way as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and he gave us the love of God directly, and he has asked us to chant Hare Krishna. This is how he is maintaining his parampara to only protect this particular atheistic people and theistic people alike, because everybody is essentially a part and parcel of Krishna. As such, we are servants of Krishna. So everyone is supposed to work. We are working. But we have to work in Krishna consciousness, and we are working in the sense gratification, sense-centered consciousness. We have to shift the sense-centered into the Krishna conscious-centered or Krishna-centered activities. Activities don't change, but the consciousness with which you perform the activity does change. So that is called a Krishna consciousness. So this has to come. Ashura Sakale Payile Charana. So even the Asuras will take shelter of the lotus feet of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. This is the verdict of the previous acharyas like Bhaktivinoda Thakur. So in this age of Kali, nobody can misuse the power and the potency given by Krishna. And in this Kali Yuga, Krishna gave all his potency and power and beauty and everything. Simply the holy name, and without any rules, regulation, anybody can this holy name. So in this way, he has given such a wonderful potency, and you cannot misuse. Even somebody sarcastically chants by for blaspheming somebody, or for what I can say, for teasing, still that person will be benefited. This is the mercy of the Lord. Nobody can conquer. Isasa Murdva. So anyway, so in this verse we have seen that the Brahmana by Sringi has started deterioration of the Brahmana, and thus by deteriorating the Brahmanical culture as well as their power, he has also is the root cause of the deteriorating the entire Varnashrama Dharma. In this way, we have lost our Dharma. And Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, don't think we have lost the Varnashrama Dharma, so we are living in the chaotic situation. No, people are standing in queue even in Vaikuntha to take birth in this Kali Yuga. Do you know? So this Varnashrama Dharma is material after all. But Lord Krishna, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has given us something transcendental which has never ever been given before, even in Satyugas. So there others are standing in line to take birth in the Kali Yuga, because this is a golden age of Kali, where by chanting the holy name of the Lord, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. By this Hare Krishna Mahamantra, one can revive his lost Krishna consciousness and lost relationship with Krishna, and be established in blissfulness in the service of Krishna, eternally in the abode of Krishna, when he takes up this process of Bhakti Yoga and practice it under a bona fide spiritual master in this very same life. So this is a beautiful opportunity given in this age of Kali. So anyway, we have lost all the dharma, but now the chance has come us to Mamekam Saranam Braja, surrender unto Krishna's lotus feet. So let us surrender to Lord Chaitanya's lotus feet. When Krishna came, we didn't surrender because he posed himself as the original personality of God, because he is. But Lord Chaitanya, though being the original personality of God, the same Krishna, he didn't pose himself as such, because he saw that this foolish Kali Yuga people can't understand the supremacy of the supreme personality of God. So he posed himself as a devotee of himself, and then he said that how to live as a devotee. Every living entity is a devotee of Krishna. Only thing is they forgot Krishna, so their services are not devotional. Their services become karma kanda and papa. So in order to just purify their karma kanda activities and the papa activities into the pure unalloyed loving devotional service, Lord Chaitanya came as his own devotee and demonstrated a life of a living being. Living force. Chaitanya means living force. So what a living force should behave, what it should think, what it should act, how it should behave with other living entities, how it should supreme personality of God, and how it is existence, what is the purpose of its existence, everything he has demonstrated with not just knowledge like giving Bhagavad Gita and going away like Krishna did, but he has demonstrated the Bhagavad Gita in his practical life, and he has established the Srimad Bhagavata culture, Bhagavata Dharma all over the world without any discrimination as to who is qualified and who is not qualified, because every living entity is the part and parcel of Krishna. So who can be denied as a not qualified? This is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's this thing. So he has given to one and all this Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, for which there is no rules regulation, and anyone who chants are benefited and their spiritual life begins if they receive the mantra in bona fide souls, from the bona fide souls, and chanted in the bona fide way. Then they become to Suddhanam. Once you are in Suddhanam, you can experience the love in ecstasy. You will be able to perform the pure unalloyed loving devotional service. It certainly attracts Krishna, because Akarshiti iti Krishna, he attracts everyone, but he is attracted by the devotional service. Bhaktya Mama Bhi Janati. He is also attracted. Otherwise, how can he attract? So he is attracted by something that we never performed till today. But now we have got that opportunity by the mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj, that yes, we can perform devotional service. And this will certainly attract Krishna, and Krishna will look at you. Because Srila Prabhupada said that don't try to see Krishna. Act in such a way that Krishna wants to see you. And this is the way. Starting from chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. It gives pleasure to Krishna's senses. So he turns and says, Hare, who is giving me pleasure? Wow, who is my part and parcel? This Jiva. Suddenly he started giving me pleasure. Let me take care of him. Immediately Krishna takes direct charge of us. So this is the beginning of chanting of Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, wherein you start feeling your happiness, ecstasy, and then establish yourself by removing all the contamination by the bhakti yoga process under the bona fide spiritual master. Thank you very much. So we'll go to the next verse. Srimad Bhagavatam Canton chapter 18 verse 38. Tato abhyetyasramam balo
ततो अव्यात्यश्रमं बालो
gale sarpa kalevaram
गले सर्पकलेवरम्
pitaram vikshya dukkharto
पितरं वीक्ष्य दुःखार्तो
mukta kantorurodha
मुक्तकण्ठो रुरोदः
ततो अव्येत्याश्रमं बालो
ततो अव्येत्याश्रमं बालो
गले सर्पकलेवरम्
गले सर्पकलेवरम्
पितरं वीक्ष्य दुःखार्थो
पितरं वीक्ष्य दुःखार्तो
मुक्तकण्ठोरुरोधः
मुक्तकण्ठो रुरोदः
ततो अव्येत्याश्रमं बालो
ततो अव्येत्याश्रमं बालो
गले सर्पकलेवरम्
गले सर्पकलेवरम्
पितरं वीक्ष्य दुःखार्तो
पितरं वीक्ष्य दुःखार्तो
मुक्तकण्ठोरुरोधः
मुक्तकण्ठो रुरोदः
Recite, please.
ततो अव्येत्याश्रमं बालो
ततो व्येत्याश्रमं बालो
गले सर्पकलेवरम्
बले गले सर्पकलेवरम्
पितरं वीक्ष्य दुःखार्तो
पितरं वीक्ष्य दुःखार्थो
मुक्तकण्ठो रुरोदः
मुक्तकण्ठोरुरोधः. Synonyms. Tata, thereafter.
तथा thereafter
Abhyetya, after entering into.
अव्येत्या after entering into
Ashramam, the hermitage.
ashramam the hermitage
Bhala, boy.
bala boy
Gale, sarpa, the snake on the shoulder.
gale sharpa the snake on the shoulder
Kalevaram, body.
kalevaram body
Pitaram, unto the father.
pitaram unto the father
Vikshya, having seen.
vikshya having seen
Dukkha artha, in a sorry plight.
dukkha artha in a sorry plight
Mukta kantha, loudly.
mukta kantha loudly
Ruroda, cried.
ruroda cried
Ha, in the past.
ha in the past.
Translation, please repeat after me. Thereafter, when the boy returned to the hermitage,
Thereafter, when the boy returned to the hermitage,
he saw a snake on his father's shoulder.
he saw a snake on his father's shoulder.
And out of his grief, he cried very loudly.
And out of his grief, he cried very loudly.
Purport.
Purport. The boy was not happy because he committed a great mistake and he wanted to be relieved of the burden on his heart by crying. So after entering the hermitage and seeing his father in that condition, he cried loudly so that he might be relieved, but it was too late. The father regretted the whole incident.
Hari Om Tat Sat. So, Here it is very clearly written that we have seen that he has committed such an offense to Parikshit Maharaj, he has such a blunder mistake to which is the root, he has happened to be the root cause of destroying the entire Varnashrama dharma in the entire society of the world, in the humanity, such a havoc that he has done. And still, he didn't have any repentation, he didn't have any kind of, you know, uh, what I can say, uh, realization of the mistake. But somehow, because such a blunder mistake, when you commit, no, your happiness will be immediately stolen away. So the Lord's mercy is taken away. Power is lost. Just like Ashwatthama, when he beheaded the sons of Pandavas, he lost the luster, he lost the happiness, he lost everything. Like that. So this boy, he also was not happy because he has committed such a great mistake. But he just want to soothing himself only. He did not have the repentation of the mistake, but he wanted to relieve it. He wanted to be relieved of the unhappy situation because he feels very heavy heart. So he thought, okay, by crying, I can, mm, relieve my heart. So as soon as he entered the hermitage and seeing his father in the trance condition, but with a dead snake on his hair, on his shoulder, he cried very loudly so that he feels he will be relieved from the mistakes burden that is heavying his heart. But it's too late now because uh, the Parikshit Maharaj has already been cursed. And Parikshit Maharaj, though he can retreat, but he did not. He has accepted the curse as a mercy of Krishna. That is Vaishnava's behavior. Now, for this Brahmanava, it is too late to repent now. So the father regretted the whole incident, what happened, why it has happened. The father is never not happy because father is a matured Vaishnava. He was already sitting in trance, and his son has done such a intolerable mistake of destroying the whole humanity as a whole by culture and the power of Brahminical existence. So let's see what happens next. Srimad Bhagavatam, Canton, chapter 18, verse 39. Sava Angiraso Brahman
Sava Angiraso Brahman
Srutva Sutta Vilapanam
Trutva Sut Vilapanam
Unmilya Shankhair Netre
Unmilya Sankaya Netre
Drishtva Chamse Mrito Ragam
Drishtva Chanse Mritoragam
Tava Angiraso Brahman
Sava Angiraso Brahman
Srutva Sutta Vilapanam
Trutva
Sutva
Suta
Vilapanam
Vilapaman
Unmilya Shankhair
Unmilya
Milya Shankar
Sankaya
Netre
Netre
दृष्ट्वा छांसे मृतोरगम्
दृष्ट्वा
Drishtva
चान्ते
Chamse
मृतोरगम्
Vritoragam
स वा आङ्गिरसो ब्रह्मन्
स वा
Sava
अङ्गिरसो
Angiraso Brahman
ब्रह्मन्
श्रुत्वा सुतविलापनम्
श्रुत्वा
Srutva Sutta
सुतविलापनम्
Vilapanam
उन्मील्य शङ्खे नेत्रे
उन्मील्य
Milya
शङ्काय
Shankar
नेत्रे
Netre
दृष्ट्वा छांसे मृतोरगम्
Drishtva
दृष्ट्वा
Chamse Vritoragam
मृतोरगम्
Anyone recite once?
स वा
Sava
अङ्गिरसो ब्रह्मन्
स वा
Sava
आङ्गिरसो
Angiraso
ब्रह्मन्
Brahman
श्रुत्वा सुतविलापनम्
श्रुत्वा
Srutva Sutta
सुतविलापनम्
Vilapanam
उन्मील्य शनकाय नेत्रे
उन्मील्य
Unmilya Sarakay
शङ्खैर्नेत्रे
Netre
दृष्ट्वा चांसे मृतोरगम्
दृष्ट्वा
Drishtva
छांसे
Chamse
मृतोरगम्.
Mritoragam
Synonyms. Sa, he.
स हि
Sahi.
Why also.
वै
Why
अल्सो
also
Angira, Sa, the rishi born in the family of Angira.
अंगिरसा
Angirasa
Rishi
the
born in
Rishi
the
born in the
family of
family of
Angira.
Angirasa.
Brahman, O Shaunaka.
Brahman, O
Brahman,
Saunaka.
O Saunaka.
Shrutva, on hearing.
Truta,
Sutva,
on
on
hearing.
hearing.
Suta, his son.
Suta,
Suta,
his
his
son.
son.
Vilapanam, crying in distress.
Vilapanam,
Vilapanam,
crying
crying
in
in
distress.
distress.
Unmilya, opening.
Unmilya,
Unmilya,
opening.
opening.
Shanakhai, gradually.
Sanakai,
Shanakai,
gradually.
gradually.
Netre, by the eyes.
Netre,
Netre, by
by
the
the
eyes.
eye.
Drishtva, by seeing.
Drishtva,
Drishtva,
by
by
seeing.
seeing.
Cha, also.
Cha,
Cha,
also.
also.
Amse, on the shoulder.
Amse, on
Amse,
the
on the
shoulder.
shoulder.
Mrita, dead.
Brita,
Mrita,
dead.
dead.
Uragam, snake.
Uragam, snake.
Uragam, snake.
Translation, please repeat after me. O Brahmanas, the Rishi who was born in the family of Angira Muni,
O
O
Brahmanas,
Brahmana, the
the
Rishi
Rishi
who was
who
born
was
in the
born in
family
the
of
family of
Angira
Angira
Muni,
Muni,
hearing his son crying,
hearing
hearing
his
his son
son
crying,
crying,
gradually opened his eyes and saw the dead snake around his neck.
gradually
gradually
opened eyes
opened
and
his
saw
eyes
the dead
and
snake
saw
around his
the
neck.
dead snake around his neck.
Srimad Bhagavatam, Canton, chapter 18, verse 40. Vishrujyatam cha papracha
Vistrijyam tap
Vishishyetam
chapapacha
parpacha
vatsakasmadhirodhishi
vastakasmat
vatsakasmadhirodhishi
dhirodishi
yena vate pakrutam
tena
yenavate
vate apkritam
pakritam
iti ukta sanya vedayet.
iti ukta
iti
stanave
uktak sanavedaye
Vishrujyatam cha papracha
Visrijyam
Vishishyetam cha papracha
chapapacha
vatsakasmadhirodhishi
vastakasmat
vatsakasmadhirodhishi
dhirodishi
kena vate pakrutam
kenavate apkritam
yenavate pakritam
iti ukta sanya vedayat.
iti ukta
iti
sanya
ukta
vedaya
sanyavedaya
Vishrujyatam cha papracha
Visrijyam
Visrijayatam cha
chapapacha
papracha
vatsakasmadhirodhishi
vatsakasmadhirodhishi
vatsakasmadhirodishi
kena vate apakrutam
kenavate apkritam
केनवातेय pakritam
iti ukta sanya vedayat.
iti ukta sanya
iti
vedaya
ukta sanavedaya
Synonyms. Visrujya. Sorry. Anyone can recite once.
Visrijyatam cha paprapacha
Visrujyatam cha
Visrijayatam cha
papracha
papracha
vatsakasmadhirodhishi
vatsakasmadhirodhishi
vatsakasmadhirodishi
kenavate apkritam
kena vate
केनवातेय
apakrutam
pakritam
iti ukta sanyavedayat
iti
iti
ukta
ukta
sanya vedayat.
sanyavedaya
Synonyms. Visrujya, throwing aside.
Visrijayatam throwing aside
aside
Tam, that.
tam
tam
that
that
Cha, also.
cha
cha also
also
Papracha, asked.
papracha ask
prapacha asked
Vatsa, my dear son.
Vatsa
what's
my dear
my
son
dear son
Kasmat, what for?
Kasmat
kasmat
what
what
for
for
He certainly.
he
he
certainly
certainly
Rodishi, crying.
Rodishi
Rodishi
crying
crying
Kena, by whom?
Kena
Kena
by
by
whom
whom
Va, otherwise.
wa
was
otherwise
otherwise
Te, they.
they
they
Apakritam, misbehaved.
apkritam
pakritam misbehaved
misbehaved
Iti, thus.
iti
iti
thus
thus
Ukta, being asked.
ukta
ukta
being
being
asked
asked
Sa, the boy.
the
sa
boy
Nyavedayat, informed of everything.
Nyavedayat
navedayat
informed of
informed of
everything
everything.
Translation, please repeat after me. He threw the dead snake aside and asked his son why he was crying.
he
He
threw the dead
threw the
snake
dead
aside and
snake
asked his son
aside
why
and
he was
asked his
crying
son why he was crying.
Whether anyone had done him harm.
whether
whether
anyone had done him
had
harm.
done him.
On hearing this, the son explained to him what had happened.
On hearing
On
this,
hearing
the
this,
son had
the
explained to
son
him what had
explained to
happened.
him what had happened.
Purport.
The father
Purpose.
did, uh, the father did not take the dead snake on his neck very seriously. He simply threw it away. Actually, there was nothing seriously wrong in Maharaja Parikshit act, but the foolish son took it very seriously, and being influenced by Khadi, he cursed the king and thus ended a chapter of happy history.
Gaura Hari. Hari Om Tat Sat. Prabhupada is the personality who can make us understand the situation as it is. He gives the Bhagavatam statements, in live. We can see what's happening by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada's commentary. Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. So, putting the dead snake on the neck is not a very serious offense, and nor did the father took it very seriously. Okay, he just throw it away. And Maharaja Parikshit's act is not so serious offense and all. But because that was a play of, after all, the Lord, Supreme Personality of Godhead. Maharaja Parikshit has, been completely a surrendered soul, being an instrument in the hands of Lord Sri Krishna. Sri Krishna cannot tolerate the separation of such a pure devotee for long. So he wants to take Parikshit Maharaj back home, back to Godhead. At the same time, he also wants what Parikshit Maharaj should do here may be done it very swiftly, so that not only during the presence of Parikshit Maharaj, but also the future of the Kali Yuga be saved through Parikshit Maharaj by giving this Srimad Bhagavatam. Krishna's plan is quite amazing, inconceivable. Nobody can understand unless otherwise he reveals it. So this is Krishna's wonderful plan. Okay, and then this Brahmana boy is a fool, and he has Krishna didn't take advantage of Brahmana boy and all. Krishna just wanted Parikshit Maharaj to come back
Yeah.
home, back to Godhead. Krishna is only using Parikshit Maharaj. Krishna is not really using the Brahmana boy. Krishna has given a chance to the Brahmana boy, the soul in the Brahmana boy's body, to get birth in the Brahmana family for his own benefit. But Krishna's test was there on Brahmana boy, and the test was failed. Brahmana boy has failed the test because he has been given a chance to be in the Brahmana's family so that he can benefit himself by yielding some piety. On the other hand, this foolish boy, he has cursed, he has put an end to the wonderful dynasty. He has put an end to the wonderful happy history of all the human life. And he has given all the doors open to Kali, and he has become an instrument in the hands of Kali. Look at the difference between Parikshit Maharaj and the Sringi Brahmana. Either you can be the instrument in the hands of the Supreme Personality of Godhead under the bona fide spiritual master, or you can be the agent of Kali, agent of Maya. What you want, choice is yours. Both Parikshit Maharaj and the Sringi with the Brahmana with such a powerful intelligence and such a powerful knowledge and everything, both are given the chance. Okay, be the instrument in the hands of Krishna. Parikshit took that opportunity and he remained the instrument in the hands of Krishna, whereas the Sringi boy became the Kali's agent. He has become the instrument in the hands of Kali. So that is the difference, the Asuric and Suric behavior. You can see the Asura way of behavior in the small boy. The boy may be small, but soul is not small, soul is not big, soul is not old, soul is not new. Okay, Yam Purana is the very, very oldest. So the soul is not immature or mature. So you have to understand from this perspective that both of them are very powerful. Both of them have a very wonderful opportunity to serve Krishna. Both of them are knowledgeable about Krishna, and both of them have been given a chance by Lord Krishna to be an instrument in his hands. But Parikshit Maharaj was a devotee, so he was an instrument in the hands of Krishna, whereas the Sringi boy was a non-devotee. So he has misused the power and chance, everything given to him. He has misused his free will. He became Krishna. He wanted to act as Krishna and he wanted to punish Krishna. Even if you want to act as Krishna, Krishna never punishes any Vaishnavas, his devotees. At least that common sense should be there. But this Brahmana boy took the position of Krishna, and then he has punished whom Krishna also will never punish. So this is the mistake. This is Ashuric in nature. So this boy has misused his free will, misused his power and potency, misused his position in the culture, misused his position as a Brahmana boy with all the Brahmanical power and culture. Everything he has misused for his own sense gratification. So this is what is happening in the Kali Yuga today. We have also the same chance, whether you want to surrender to Krishna or surrender to Maya, whether you want to be an instrument in the hands of Krishna or in the hands of Kali and Maya. Choice is ours again. Choice is ours. You want to be Sringi or you want to be Parikshit Maharaj. Choice is yours. You want to be Duryodhana or you want to be Arjuna. Choice is yours. So we have got a very wonderful bona fide spiritual master in the unbroken chain of disciplic succession. So we must understand the seriousness of a small act only, just making a decision of how to use my or misuse my free will. Every moment we are given this chance of using or misusing our free will. That is why a devotee should always check. Shall I do this? Will it please my Guru? Will it please Krishna? I will do it. If it will not please my Guru, if it will not please my Krishna, I will not do it. That's all. It's a very simple decision making. It's not very difficult. And especially for those who are chanting Hare Krishna and be in the association who has got Guru's shelter, for them it's not at all difficult. So we have to learn this lesson from here, that we should not act like Sringi, but we should act like Maharaja Parikshit. Doesn't matter what may come. Parikshit Maharaj is saved by, not only Parikshit Maharaj is saved, through Parikshit Maharaj, the Lord has saved all of us also, and the future generations also. Whereas Sringi himself was not saved. See the difference. Let's go to the next verse. Srimad Bhagavatam, Canton, chapter 8, verse 41. Nishamya Shaptam Madadaram Narendram
Nishamya
Nisamya Sabdam Atat
Saptam
Arsham
Narendram
Narendram
Sabrahmanonatmajamabhyanandat
Sabrahmanonatmajam
Sabdhamajam
Apyot
Abhyanandat
Aho batam ho mahadadyate kritam
Aho Batmaho
Ahotam
Magad Dat
Madat
Adyate Ketram
alpiya sidroha ururdhamodrita
Alpi Yasidro
Alpiyasito
Vruda Madhyo
Dharmadrita
nishamya saptam atadarham narendram
Nisamya
Nishamya
Saptam
Saptam
Adadharmendram
Adadarmanarendram
sabrahmanonatmajamabhyanandat
Sabrahmano
Sabrahmanonatmajamabhyanat
Abhyanandat
aho batam ho mahadadyate kritam
Aho
Aho Batafo
Brahma
Mahadatyade Kratam
alpiya sidroha ururdhamodrita
Alpi Yasidro Harudha Modhotro
Madhrita
nishamya saptam atadarham narendram
Nisamsya
Shamya
Sabdam
Saptam
Atadarshamarendram
Adadarmanarendram
sabrahmanonatmajam abhyanandat
Sabrahmanonatmajam Apyanonat
Sabrahmanodharmabhyanandat
aho batam ho mahadadyate kritam
Aho
Aho
Batamohat
Madhyate Krita
Adyakretam
alpiya sidroha ururdhamodrita
Alpi Yasidro Harudhamodratro
Dharmadogrit
Yeah, recite please.
Nisamya Saptam Atadarshamarendram
Nishamya
Nishamya
saptam
Saptam
atadarham narendram
Adadarmanarendram
Sabrahmonatamajam Habhyanandan
Sabrahmano
sabrahmanonatmajamabhyanandat
Atmatam
Ahobatamoho Magat Adyadekritam
aho
Aho
batam ho
Patamaho
mahadadyate kritam
Madhyate
Alpiya Sidro Harudhamodhrita
alpiya sidroha ururdhamodrita.
Alpiyasitodharmadogrita
Synonyms. Nishamya, after hearing.
Nishamya
Nishamya after
after
hearing
hearing
Shaptam, cursed.
Saptam
Saptam
curse
cursed
Atat, arham, never to be condemned.
Atat
Atat
Arham
Aham
never
never
to be
to be
condemned
condemned
Nara Indram, unto the king, best of humankind.
Narayindram unto the
Narayana unto
king
the
best
king
of
best of
humankind
mankind
Saha, that.
Sada
that
Brahmana, Rishi.
Brahmana
Brahmana
Rishi
Rishi
Na, not.
Na not
not
Atmajam, his own son.
Atmajam, his
Atmajam, his
own
own
son.
son.
Abhyanandat congratulated.
Abhyanandat
Abhyanandat
congratulated.
congratulated.
Aho, alas.
Oh,
Aho,
alas.
alas,
Batha, distressing.
Bata,
Bata,
distressing.
distressing.
Amha, since.
Amha,
Amha, since.
Mahat, great.
Mahat,
Mahat,
great.
great.
Adya, today.
Adya,
Adya,
today.
today.
The, yourself.
Say
They,
yourself.
yourself.
Kritam, performed.
Kritam,
Kritam, performed.
performed.
Alpi, yasi, insignificant.
Alpi,
LPSE is insignificant.
insignificant.
Drohe, offense.
Drohe,
Drohe offense.
offense.
Uruhu, very great.
Uruhu,
Uruhu, very great.
great.
Dhama, punishment.
Dama,
Dama, punishment.
punishment.
Dhrutha, awarded.
Dhrutha,
Dhrita,
awarded.
Translation, please repeat after me. The father heard from his son that the king had been cursed.
The
the
father
father
heard from his
heard
son
from his
that the
son
king had
that
been cursed,
had been cursed.
Although he should never have been condemned,
although he
Although
should
he
never have been
never had
condemned,
been condemned,
for he was the best amongst all human beings.
for
for
he
he
was the
was the
best
best
amongst all
amongst
human
all
beings.
human beings.
The rishi did not congratulate his son, but
The
The
rishi
Rishi
did
did
not
not
congratulate his
congratulate his
son, but
son, but
on the contrary began to repent, saying,
on
on
the
the
contrary
contrary began
began
to
to
repent,
repent,
saying,
saying,
Alas, what a great sinful act was performed by my son.
alas,
Alas,
what a great
what a
sinful act
great
was
sinful
performed
act
by my
was
son.
performed by my son.
He has awarded heavy punishment for an insignificant offense.
He
He
has
was
awarded
awarded
heavy
heavy
punishment for an
punishment for
insignificant
an
offense.
insignificant offense.
Purport.
Purport. The king is the best of all human beings. He is the representative of God and he is never to be condemned for any of his actions. In other words, the king can do no wrong. The king may order hanging of a culprit son of a Brahmana, but he does not become sinful for killing a Brahmana. Even if there is something wrong with the king, he is never to be condemned. A medical practitioner may kill a patient by mistaken treatment, but such a killer is never condemned to death. So, what to speak of a good and pious king like Maharaja Parikshit? In the Vedic way of life, the king is trained to become a Rajrishi or a great saint, although he is ruling as king. It is the king only by whose good government the citizens can live peacefully and without any fear. The Rajrishis would manage their kingdom so nicely and piously that their subjects would respect them as if they were the Lord. That is the instruction of the Vedas. The king is called Narendra or the best amongst the human beings. How, how then could a king like Maharaja Parikshit be condemned by an inexperienced, puffed up son of a Brahmana, even though he had attained the powers of a qualified Brahmana? Since Samik Rishi was an experienced good Brahmana, he did not approve of the action of his condemned son. He began to lament for all that his son had done. The king was beyond the jurisdiction of courses as a general rule and curses as a general rule, and what to speak of a good king like Maharaja Parikshit? The offense of the king was most insignificant, and his being condemned to death was certainly a very great sign for Sringi. Therefore, Rishi Samik regretted the whole incident.
Srila Prabhupada explains very nicely from the perspective of Samika Rishi that how Samika Rishi took this incident narrated by his own son Sringi related to the insignificant mistake of king, and he has given such a heavy punishment of death penalty to the king. And the king do no wrong because king is the rule maker, so he doesn't do anything wrong. He may even hang a culprit son of a brahmana. That is nothing wrong. He will not get even brahmahati dosha because Shastra allows him. He is supposed to be the representative of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So, as a Supreme Personality of God takes care of his subjects and giving them opportunity to serve the Lord. Similarly, this king also should create environment so that people can practice Krishna consciousness while being situated in the Varnashrama Dharma with the respective occupational duty, with the ultimate objective of, giving pleasure to Krishna or satisfying Samsiddhir Haritoshanam, which all their occupational duty. For that, any disturbances anybody is getting, the king will go and remove the disturbance and allow the citizen to practice their Krishna conscious life successfully. That is why he is the representative of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So, as such, some miscreants will be disturbing this particular practicing Krishna consciousness. The king will award punishment to them. By such punishment, it may happen that he may even hang a culprit son of a Brahmana, but still the king is not afflicted by the sin. The king is not afflicted by the Brahmahati dosha or anything because he is giving opportunity to others to practice Krishna consciousness. At the cost of a culprit is nothing wrong. That is the way even Krishna does. When Krishna comes, Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya dushkritam. So the miscreants to be killed, he destroys miscreants and then he protects the devotees, he protects the theist. Similarly, the king as a representative of the Lord does the same thing. And so at this particular juncture, that means king can do no wrong. Whatever the decision king makes is always right. And because he is in Krishna consciousness, this is even applicable to a good king. What to speak of Parikshit Maharaj, who is a Raja Rishi, who is the dedicated devotee of Lord Krishna, and he knows how to engage people in Krishna consciousness, and he can always see that any part of his empire, any part of his kingdom, if there is something discrepancy is happening from practicing Krishna consciousness, he immediately presents himself there and removes the culprit. Even he has, avoided the Kali from entering into his kingdom so that the people can practice Krishna consciousness. Even foolish cannot be exploited by the Kali. So that is the way the king is done. And Samika Rishi is fully knowledgeable. He is a good devotee of Lord. So he understands everything and he is repenting of the whole incident of this Brahmana boy acted very foolishly, and he has taken the situation in his own hand, which a Brahmana will never do that. A Brahmana will always advise the king as to how to rule and how to be obedient to Krishna. Brahmana will never take up the situation and make his own decision. And Sringi has done that calamity, and he has created such a havoc not only to King Parikshit but to the whole humanity. So the Samika Rishi, it was intolerable for him what his son has done. And so he was repenting for that. He was repenting for that. What can be done now? It's too late. So, uh, king is called Nara Indra. Nara Indra. Nara means human, Indra means the head. So, Nara Indra, that means he is the best of the human beings. And Samike Rishi, being good Brahmana, he could understand the situation very well, and he regretted the whole incident. He understand very clearly that Maharaja Parikshit was not to be cursed at any cost. Not only even if he commits a mistake, he should not be cursed. This is well understood by Samika Rishi. So he is repenting for his son's act, but he may not have a solution in his hand. Srimad Bhagavatam Canto 1, Chapter 18, verse 42. Navaindrabirnaradevam parakyam
Navaindrabir Naradevam Parakyam
Sammatum arhasi avipakva buddhe
Sammatam harhasi avipakvabuddhe.
यत्तेजसा दुर्विषहेण गुप्ता
Yattejasa
सहेन गुप्ता
विन्दन्ति भद्राणि अकुतो भया प्रजा
vintanti bhadraya ani akroto bhayana praja.
न वै नृभिर्नरदेवं पराख्यम्
Nanaivrbar naradevam paraksham.
सम्मातुमर्हसि अविपक्वबुद्धे
Sammatam avipakvabuddhe.
यत्तेजसा दुर्विषहेण गुप्ता
Yattejasa durvisheshena gupta.
गुप्ता
विदन्ति भद्राणि अकुतो भया प्रजा
Vidanti bhadrani akuto bhayan praja.
प्रजा
न वै नृभिर्नरदेवं पराख्यम्
Navirandra
पराख्यम
सम्मातुमर्हसि अविपक्वबुद्धे
सम्मा
sammatam harhasi
पक्व बुद्धे
avipakvabuddhe.
यत्तेजसा दुर्विषहेण गुप्ता
यत्तेजसा
Yattejasa
दुर्विषहेण गुप्ता
durvisahinena gupta.
विदन्ति भद्राणि अकुतो भया प्रजा
विन्दन्ति
Vindanti bhadra ani
भद्राण्यको
akuto bhaya
भया
praja.
प्रजा
Yeah, recite once.
नवेन्द्र विनर्देवं पराख्यम
न वै नृभिर्नरदेवं
Navinirvar
पराख्यम्
naradevam prakyam.
सम्मातु अर्हसि विपक्व बुद्धे
सम्मातुमर्हसि
Sammatam
अविपक्वबुद्धे
harhasi avipakvabuddhe.
यत्तेजसा दुर्विषहेण गुप्ता
यत्तेजसा दुर्विषहेण गुप्ता
Yattejasa durvineshena gupta.
विन्दन्ति भद्राण्यमकुत भया प्रजा
विन्दन्ति भद्राणि
Yanti
अकुतो
bhakra ani
भया
akuto
प्रजा
bhaya pra.
Synonyms. No, never.
No,
न
never.
never
Why? As a matter of fact.
why
As a
matter of
matter of fact,
Nirbhi, by any man.
nirbhi by
निर्भीक
any
by
man.
any man
Naradevam, unto a man god.
Naradevam
Naradev
unto man
unto a
god.
man god
Parakyam, who is transcendental.
Parakyam who
Parakyam
is
who is
transcendental.
transcendental
Sammatum, plays on equal footing.
Sammatum
Sammatram praise
place
on
on
equal
equal
footing.
footing
Arhasi, by the pros.
Arasi by
Harasi by the
cross
prose.
Avipakva, unripe or immature.
Avipakva
Avipakva
right or
unripe or
immature
immature.
Buddhe, intelligence.
Buddhe
Is
intelligence
intelligent.
Yat, of whom.
Yat of whom
Yeah, to whom?
Tejasa, by the prowess.
Tejasa by the prowess
By the prowess.
Durvishahena, unsurpassable.
Durvisahena
Then
unsurpassable
unpressable.
Gupta, protected.
Gupta protected
Gupta protected.
Vindanti, enjoys.
Vindanti
Vindanti
enjoy
enjoyed.
Bhadrani, all prosperity.
Bhadrani all
Yadrani all prosperity.
prosperity
Akuta Bhaya, completely defended.
Akuta Bhaya
Akuta
complete
bhaya completely
defended
defended.
Praja, the subjects.
Praja the subjects
Prada,
And place
Prada the subject.
Oh my boy, your intelligence is immature.
Oh my boy your
Oh my
intelligence
boy, your
is
intelligence is
immature
immature,
And therefore you have no knowledge that the king,
and therefore you have
and
knowledge
therefore you will acknowledge that the
king
king,
who is the best amongst the human beings, is as good as the personality of Godhead.
who is the
who is the
best
best amongst
amongst
the human
human
beings,
beings
is as good
is
as the
as
personality of
good
Godhead.
as the personality of Godhead.
He is never to be placed on an equal footing with common men.
He is
He
never
should never to be placed on equal footing with the common man.
man.
The citizens of the state live in prosperity,
The
The
citizens
citizens
of the state live in prosperity,
in prosperity,
being protected by his unsurpassable prowess.
being
being protected by his
by his unsurpassable
unsurpassable
grace.
cross.
Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 18, verse 43. Alakshamane Naradeva Namni
Alakshmane Naradeva Namni
Namne
Ratangapana
Rathanga
Ratavapano Vayam
Mangaloka
Rangaloka
Tadahi Chaura Prachuro Vinangshati
Tada
Tadahi
Hichauro Prakro Vinanchi
Vinangacha
Arakshamano Avivarutavat
Arakshmano
Arakyamano Vivaruktavat Kasnat
Vatvatana
Alakshamane Naradeva Namni
Alakshmane
Alakshinamni Naradeva Namni
Ratangapana Vayamangaloka
Ratangapano Vayamangaloka
Mangaloka
Tadahi Chaura Prachuro Vinangshati
Tada
Tadahi
Hichaura Prakro Vinanchi
Vinangacha
Arakshamano Avivaruttavat
Rakshamano
Lakshmano
Vivaruttavat Chantat
Avivaruthavat Chanat
Someone read once.
Arakshamani Naradeva Namni
Alakshamane
Alakshamane
Naradeva Namni
Nardevanamne
Ratangapano Yam Anlagaloka
Ratangapana Vayamangaloka
Vayamangaloka
Tada Hichaura Prakro Vinanchat
Tadahi Chaura Prachuro Vinangshati
Vinangacha
Arakshiyam Arakshimano Vivaruntavat Kasanat
Arakshamano
Alakshamano Avivaruthavat
Varutavatsana.
Chanat
Synonyms. Alakshamane being a dualist.
Arakshamane
Alakshamane
being
being abolished.
abolished.
Naradeva, monarchical.
Naradeva
Monarchical.
monarchical.
Nominee of the name.
Nominee
Nominee
of the
of the
name.
name.
Rata Anga Pandu, the representative of the Lord.
Ratha
Ratha
Angapandu, the representative of the Lord.
representative of Lord.
I am this.
I am
I
this.
am this.
Anga, oh my boy.
Anga,
Anga,
oh my boy.
Loka, this world.
Loka, this
Loka,
world.
this world.
Tada, he at once.
Tada he
Tada
at
he at once.
once.
Chaura, thieves.
Chaura,
Chaura, thieves.
Prachura, too much.
Prachura,
Prachura,
too much.
Vinangshati, vanquishes.
Vinakshati,
Vinangasati,
vanquishes.
vanquishes.
Arakshamana, being not protected.
Arakshamana,
Lakshmana,
being not
being not protected.
protected.
Avivaruttavat, like lambs.
Avivratavat, like
Avivarutavat,
lambs.
like lambs.
Shanat at once.
Cannot at once.
At once.
My dear boy, translation, please repeat after me. My dear boy, the Lord who carries the wheel of a chariot
My
My
dear
dear
boy, the Lord
boy,
who carries the
Lord,
wheel
who
of
carries
the
the
chariot
wheel of a chariot,
is represented by the monarchical regime.
is
is presented by
represented
the
by the
monarchical regime.
monarchical regime.
And when this regime is abolished,
And when
And
this
when the regime
regime
is
is
abolished,
abolished,
the whole world becomes filled with thieves
the whole
the whole
world
world
becomes
becomes
filled
filled
with
with thieves
peace,
who then at once vanquish the unprotected subjects like scattered lambs.
who then
who
at once
then
vanish
at
the
once
unprotected subjects
vanquishes
like
the
scattered lambs.
unprotected subjects like scattered lambs.
Purport.
Purport. According to Srimad Bhagavatam, the monarchical regime represents the Supreme Lord, the personality of Godhead. The king is said to be the representative of the absolute personality of Godhead because he is trained to acquire the qualities of God to protect the living beings. The battle of Kurukshetra was planned by the Lord to represent to establish the real representative of the Lord, Maharaja Yudhishthira. An ideal king, thoroughly trained by culture and devotional service with the martial spirit, makes a perfect king. Such a personal monarchy is fare better than the so-called democracy of no training and responsibility. The thieves and rogues of modern democracy seek election by misrepresentation of votes, and the successful rogues and thieves devour the mass of population. One trained monarch is far better than hundred of useless ministerial roles, and it is hinted herein that by abolition of a monarchical regime like that of Maharaja Parishit, the mass of people became open to many attacks of the age of Kali. They are never happy in an overly advertised form of democracy. The result of such a kingless administration is described in the following verses.
Hari Om Tat Sat. So, Srimad Bhagavatam says that the king is the representative of the absolute personality of Godhead because he has been trained to acquire the godly qualities to protect the living beings, which means that Vishnu is the maintainer, Brahma is the creator, Shiva is the destroyer. So Vishnu is maintaining through the kings by sharing his qualities with them. So they should act as the instrument in the hands of the Lord Vishnu and help him, assist him in maintaining. That is a proper administration. Not like today's democracy, wherein not one person in the democratic parliament government, not even one person, is neither a devotee. He is neither a devotee nor he is trained to protect the people. The looters have selected some special looter as their own head, and the head looter will loot all other looters. This is democracy government of today that we are experiencing already. Either you loot in the name of tax or you loot in the name of introducing what is not good for the citizen to practice Krishna consciousness. So in this way, you loot by hook or crook. That is the only objective. And the population is also fools and they are also looters. Everybody wants to loot the others. And what are they looting? They are looting only money, which is going to be here only. That is Krishna's property. Sita or Lakshmi is Krishna's consort, eternal consort. You cannot become Ravana stealing away only the consort of Krishna. That is not possible. In the previous verses also we have seen that either you can be an instrument in the hands of Krishna or you can be the instrument in the hands of Maya or Kali. So we know that Krishna is our well-wisher, Suhridam Sarva Bhutanam. He is always present in everybody's heart. He is the supreme well-wisher of every living being, irrespective of the living being may turn to atheistic. In nature, Asuric in nature, still Krishna is the well-wisher. He only sanctions his Asuric activity also to be successful for him, to just satisfy the heart of the soul, the person. The Krishna is so inclined. So it is better to be Krishna conscious rather than being a disciple of Kali and Maya or agent of Kali or Maya. So one should practice Krishna consciousness by accepting a bona fide spiritual master. Otherwise, in this already uncultured Kali Yuga, it's very difficult to survive. We don't want to be an agent of Kali. After all, we are not getting any kind of benefit. What this Ringi got benefit, you tell me. What benefit he has achieved? Did he achieve any position? Did he achieve any name, fame, glory? Did he achieve anything? Absolutely nothing. Okay. Rather, Kali became very famous. Kali achieved. Kali has conquered the whole world. This Brahmana boy, being a Brahmana, so knowledgeable, is such a fool just because he acted as a Kali's agent. Kali did not even award his own agent after acting as Kali. Kali destroys him also agent also, and Kali took advantage of this agent and then he also perverting. So there is no use of being an instrument in the hands of Kali or Maya. Neither we will be benefited nor they will have any kind of thankfulness towards the agent. So better to be a devotee of Krishna, wherein you get 100% reciprocation. 100%. Hey Pradima Nai Shakshat Brajendra Nandan. So when you see Krishna, Krishna sees you. And when you perform devotion service, Krishna accepts you. Patram puspam phalam toyam yome bhaktya prayachati. He is accepting your devotion. He doesn't need a plant or fruit or banana or anything from you. It is he only who supplies to every eko bahunam yo vidadati kaman. He is the maintaining of all the are maintained. He is the predominator of all those who are predominated. So he has nothing in want. He only accept your Bhaktyamam Abhijanati devotional service. So better to be a menial servant of Krishna, to be really situated in an original constitutional position and be a very happy, chant Hare Krishna and be happy. So we need to take this lesson from this and tune our Krishna consciousness and become more serious in Krishna consciousness and preach this Krishna consciousness to one and all. Thank you very much. Any questions or comments or realization you can share with me?
प्रभु इसमें दिया है कुरुक्षेत्र का युद्ध भगवान ने अपने असली प्रतिनिधि महाराज युधिष्ठिर को प्रतिष्ठित कराने के लिए सुनियोजित किया था।
यस
प्रभु, तो कुरुक्षेत्र का जो युद्ध हुआ वो तो कौरवों और पांडवों के बीच हुआ, तो इसमें कह रहे हैं प्रतिनिधि महाराज युधिष्ठिर को प्रतिष्ठित कराने के लिए।
ये भगवान कृष्ण जी का प्लान था। उनका प्लान ये था क्योंकि यदा यदा ही धर्म से ग्लानि, जब धर्म नष्ट होता है, अधर्म जो है पूरा आक्रमण करना चाहता है, उस समय पे कृष्ण भगवान आकर के उस अधर्म का विनाश करके धर्म का स्थापित करेंगे। ये कृष्ण भगवान का प्लान है। जैसे अधर्मिस बहुत बड़ा ज्यादा हो जाते हैं कौरव लोग, कृष्ण क्या करते हैं, आकर के उस अधर्मियों को विनाश करते हैं और धर्मों को पालन करने वाला युधिष्ठिर को महाराज नियुक्त किया है। इसका मतलब ये है कि ये कृष्ण का प्लान है। कृष्ण का प्लान ऐसा होता है कि किसी को भी डिस्टर्ब नहीं करते। वो अपना अपना इच्छा के अनुसार सबको चलने देगा और उन्हीं में से अपने प्लान को वो चला लेगा कृष्ण भगवान। जैसा दुर्योधन वगैरह जो है वो अधर्मी बनना चाहता था, उसे आदमी अधर्मी बनने देगा और कृष्ण जो है अपने भक्त को लेके आएगा साथ में। जैसे युधिष्ठिर महाराज है, परीक्षित महाराज है, और उनको जो है वो राजा बना देगा और जो अधर्मियों को विनाश कर देगा। तो ये कृष्ण भगवान भगवत गीता में भी बोला है। तो ये कृष्ण भगवान का प्लान है जो कि अधर्मियों को नष्ट करके धर्मियों को धर्म को स्थापना करना। तो ये ही कृष्ण भगवान का प्लान है जिसकी वजह से वो ऐसा किया है।
धन्यवाद प्रभु।
और ये लड़ाई जो कुरुक्षेत्र में हुआ है पांडव गौरवों के बीच में, और ये कृष्ण भगवान का प्लान है। अगर ये समझना है तो ऐसा है कि जिस तरह जंगल के अंदर घने वन में पेड़ जो है एक दूसरे के साथ थोड़े से स्क्रैच होने के कारण आग लग जाती है और उस आग से पूरे जंगल जो है वो नष्ट हो जाता है, सब जल जाता है। इसी तरह कृष्ण भगवान का प्लान होता है कि ये दोनों की अधर्म और धर्म के बीच में एक क्वारल पैदा करेगा और उससे वो लोग लड़ाई में उतरेंगे और उस लड़ाई से जो है कृष्ण भगवान ये देख लेगा कि पूरा अधर्मी जो है वो नष्ट हो जाए और धर्म को नष्ट होने नहीं देगा कृष्ण। यही फर्क है उनका इनका। तो ये कृष्ण का प्लान ऐसा होता है। भक्त लोग समझ सकते हैं उसको बड़ा आसान से। थैंक यू वेरी मच।
धन्यवाद।
And so let's resume our class tomorrow morning sharp at 8 o'clock. Till then, Grandra Srimad Bhagavatam की जय,
जय
भगवान श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय,
जय।
वैष्णव प्रणाम।
वांछा
वाञ्छकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो
वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो
नमः।
नमः।
जय श्री गुरु महाराज की जय।